Alright, so here we are once again at my kitchen table. This is the brain of that storage unit. You guys may recall from a previous video where I aped this thing up completely. Well, not this guy, but the hard drive installation. Anti-static wristband, or well, grounding wristband as it were. My memory from that I took out of the server when I replaced all of it. This is 192 gigabytes here. Not all of it's going to fit in here. I'm just going to see what's in here. I don't actually remember how much memory is in here, so we'll find out. And then this guy is a 10 gigabit Ethernet card. So, because I believe that these are only gigabit ports. So, yeah, so we got a little bit of an upgrade to do here. And I'm going to have to remember how to disassemble this. But this is the brains. This is actually the computer that controls everything, all the software end of things with the NAS that I have. So first things first, I think that this screw as well as this screw, I think this is like a pivot point. I think that this, if I undo those screws, this whole lid should just pop up. Sorry for my hand in the way, but the lid should pop up like so, type of thing. So let's give that a try and see if that's indeed how it works. Right here actually is a easier release to, and this is actually the only thing I've taken off of this. And this under here is a solid state drive. And this is like an easy access to that. But we need to get to the guts of this, so I have to do the full disassembly, I guess, as it were. So let's get those screws off and try to pop the hood, see what's up. So I got the screws off, but I think actually we're looking at another screw here. So maybe this doesn't pivot off, maybe it just lifts off. I'm gonna go ahead and take that screw out and we'll find out. Oh yes, this is much more cooperative now. So off goes the lid. And I need another hand, so 1 second. Actually, let me let's rest this gently for a sec here. Stay. That doesn't show you what I'm doing, but I am grounded. Oh, that's such a delicate. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I'm just gonna lay this thing flat behind and hope that that doesn't fall off the table here. Okay, so this is our guts. Obviously, under here is a Xeon processor. We are maxed out for memory though, so I'm wondering. Okay, so these are 4 gigabyte DIMMs, so I can actually double the memory here. So I'm gonna do that. This is a little piece of foam to keep this guy separate because there's actually 2 slots and they are SATA. So, but yeah, looking pretty good. So these are going to be low profile brackets. Fortunately, my network card came with those. But these are the, this is a riser for the expansion, for the PCI expansion, so. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this done. And there's so much like big boy hardware stuff in here as well. Like, I just don't have the money for like fiber optic stuff and like that. And like, I think, I want to say that these guys are like SAN or something like that. I'm not even sure, honestly. Like, I don't know that much about like enterprise networking and enterprise connection of large storage devices. So somebody can feel free to freaking correct me because I don't know about that. All right, so same process for this as I did with the other server. We're going to take our memory modules. I should have done this, but I'm just going to slap them in here. Where's the... There we go. Let me move this out of the way for a second. Bring the memory a little closer. So there's one. Here's number two. I'll try to orient them correctly. There we go. And I'm keeping these obviously separate from the other ones, as these are only 4 GB DIMMs. And yeah. Actually, is that? I think the second one I slapped in here is just. No, it's not. Okay. That's weird. Oops. There we go. Okay, so there's the 4 modules. So now we're going to take the bigger modules. Blop. And I'll cinch these guys down and make sure they're really tight in there. In a second. Okay, those two are done. Freaking cat hair. Yeah. It's the downside of having these outside of an actually clean enterprise environment. So I do have to keep an eye on the fans and, well, in this case, passive cooling. Well, technically not, because there's a fan here. But you guys have heard this system run. It is not. There's no issue with too little airflow over a passively cooled processor heatsink. So, all right. So there's that. Let's cinch that guy down. That one. All right. So now instead of only 16 gigabytes of RAM, this now has 32. It's as good as it's going to get. Maybe at some point I'll slap some like 64 gigabyte modules on this, but like, because I would only need 4 for this system. It would probably be worth it, but yeah, no, that's not happening right now. Screw that. So that's all done with the memory. So 4 gigabytes over here, 8 gigabytes over here. So now we have to deal with this. I don't want my manifest showing my address anywhere near video footage happening. So this is the guys I bought it from. So very nice. Pleasure doing business. I need a third hand, so fumble with the phone. Okay, all right, so yeah, I'm gonna need another hand. So give me 1 second, I'll unpack this guy and we'll get going here. So there you have it. The low profile bracket's here. So we're gonna have to swap out the bracket, obviously, but otherwise, this is our 10 gigabit, 10 gigabit Ethernet card. So just 1 port, that's all I need. And yeah, let's get this unpacked and replace the bracket. All right, so that is the screws for the bracket off. So this guy should just come out like that. And we'll line up the low profile bracket like so-ish. And I'll get this guy screwed in and show you guys after that's done. And there is our low profile bracket installed. And actually, as it turns out, I don't think I'm going to be able to use the bracket at all. There's no slots for the tab to sit through. So I think I'm just going to take the bracket off and leave it off. It's not like the bracket or need it. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything for it not to be there. So I'm just going to take the bracket off and I'll keep both brackets handy in case I ever put this in a different system. But yeah. I probably should have thought about that before I put the bracket on the thing, but like, yeah, whatever. It'll work out. To reduce the risk of damaging anything, I pulled the memory back out on this side, and I'll put the network card in it, and then I'll put the memory back in. So memory's sitting over there. Yeah, there was no way I was going to get that in without taking the memory out. Look at that freaking clearance. That is so close. Shouldn't be a problem. It may be a little bit less efficient in terms of cooling, just because there's very little space off of the tops of those memory modules, but you know, it's not the end of the world. And I mean, with the airflow that comes through the back of this thing, you know, if you put your hand behind this thing when it's running, it's no joke. So we should be all right. But yeah, so that is everything. Now I just need to screw the top cover back in place, and I think we're good to go. I can go ahead and fire this thing up and give it a test. All right, so here's the brackets and the screws, and I'm just gonna put these back in their box and keep this all kind of handy together. So again, pleasure doing business, guys, and yeah, time to get this thing hooked back up. All right, all done. Now this is ready to go. So there is our new port on the back. So that is now 10 gigabits, and these are 1 gigabit each, I think, which is perfect. So there you guys have it. That is that's that part done. I still have to go and unbury the system and get one of the caddies out and find screws. But otherwise, now we are good to go. Just one last thing to point out here. This is actually all of the buses for all of the freaking hard drives. So, yeah, it's a pretty impressive piece of equipment. All right. Well, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd really appreciate if you could drop a like on the video and comment with any feedback or suggestions that you might have. If you enjoy my server-related content, or just my content in general, I would welcome you to subscribe to my channel and stick around, as there's definitely a whole bunch of fun enterprise projects that I am looking forward to working on in the future. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for spending some of your day with me. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.